And now let us prepare our hearts and minds for a time of meditation. I invite you to find a comfortable position in your seats. Close your eyes if you wish, and take a few deep breaths. Let go of any distractions or worries that may be on your mind.
I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Free to be the voice of love. Free to make the choice of love. I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. Free to be the voice of peace. Free to make the choice of peace. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am love. I am love. I am. I am love. Breathe into that. Breathe into that as we begin this time of re-energizing, as we begin this time of renewal. I am love. I am. No matter what, I am love. Breathing in and breathing out now, settling down, allowing the body to relax. No matter where you're at or what you've been doing, it's time to take a deep breath in and hold it for a moment. And slowly, slowly exhale. And as we exhale, we drop the shoulders and drop the belly. We allow the jaw to relax. We allow our body to relax, to let go of any tension, any tightness, any place where there's a little something bothering us. We just breathe into it right now and let go, and settle into the truth. Settle into the truth of our being, that I am love. I am peace. I am whole. I am always whole. I am always love. I am always peace. Breathing in and breathing out, settling in a little bit more now. The mind begins to clear. The thoughts begin to slow down. Love fills my thoughts. As love fills my thoughts, love flows through me. Love flows through my body now. Every cell of my body is filled with love. Love, the divine harmonizing power of love. Love, the peacemaker. Love, the wholeness creator. Love, I am, God is, love. Love flows through me now. As love flows through my thoughts, they begin to slow even more. They begin to slow, and peace enters my thoughts. Love flows through my body. Love flows through my mind. And I find peace. I find peace. Every cell of my body is filled with peace. Peace and love fill my mind and fill my body. I am one with peace and love. And as my mind flows with peace and love, and I settle in even deeper now, I realize that I am whole. I am always whole, no matter what the situation is. I am whole, that I am peace, I am love, and I am whole. Focusing on the breath, breathing in, breathing out, settling into a time of refreshment, settling into a time of quiet, settling into a time of love, time of peace, a time of wholeness. In the silence now, in the silence. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, filled with love. Love flows through me now. filled with peace. Peace flows through me now, filled with love and peace. I know at an even deeper level than before that I am whole. I am whole, filled with love and peace. Taking in a deep breath now and holding it for a moment, and then slowly exhaling it, we begin the journey back to this now moment, filled with love, filled with peace, filled with wholeness. I slowly, slowly allow the eyes to open. And as they do, I say, thank you. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
I love you, I see you, I trust you to go within to discover you already know how it feels to be whole, how to heal. I love you, I see you, I trust you to go within to discover you already know how it feels to be whole, how to heal. Starting now, you can be safe and warm, whole and free, on your way to the source. Chart your course, you will see. I love you, I see you, I trust you to go within to discover you already know how it feels, how it feels to be whole, how it feels, how to heal.
Sue Riley. Thank you, Sue. That
Thank
was
you.
absolutely beautiful and absolutely truthful. Sue Riley, one of the largest contributors to Posse music in the country and the world. Thank you for that contribution, Sue, and thank you for your contribution to the Unity movement.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing those words to us this morning. I love you. I trust you. I really see you. You are whole. When was the last time you said that to yourself? Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it? We say just the opposite, don't we? Try it for a minute. Just say it to yourself. I love you. I love you. I trust you. I do. I trust you. Oh, perhaps that's the beginning of self-compassion, mindful self-compassion. But more about that in just a little bit. It's so good to be back with you today. And I wanted to just spend a moment talking about what's coming up in the rest of the year, so that you know what's being planned as we move through this year of the quest for wholeness, discovering the fact that we are whole, and that as we move through this human experience, it's our wholeness, our knowing of our wholeness, that moves us through it. And so staying whole about what's going on in the world and the world situation, and uncertainty and changing times, come and check out Reverend Dr. Anna Schaus in our Wednesday evening at 4 o'clock get-togethers. They're excellent. And I walk away in a different perspective than when I came. So I invite you to stop in and check it out, or come back again. I've asked Anna to continue these through the month of June, so we're going to be having them ongoing. So I look forward to seeing you there. And then come and see on Mother's Day. Reverend Carrie Kenyon will be here, and you're going to love her. And she just loves Myrtle Fillmore, and what a great topic for Mother's Day, the Mother of Unity, Myrtle Fillmore. So Carrie will be here for that. And then after that, I'm excited. The chaplains and I are going on retreat. We'll be at the Mercy Center in Auburn from Friday to Sunday. Barbara Thorpe is joining us for the training, and it's just always great for us to get together and be in the midst of prayer. And then we'll be presenting the Sunday service for you from the Auburn Center on that Sunday. So join us, and the chaplains will be participating. We'll be talking about the role of prayer in our quest for wholeness, and the chaplains will share how prayer has affected their quest for wholeness and how it helps them continue knowing their wholeness in this human experience. And then, you remember Marty Keller that was here a couple weeks ago, and he's also doing the Sunday morning 8:30 class on Mark Hicks's, I can't think of what the topic is now, but he's doing his class. He's going to be teaching a 5-week class in July called The Quest for Wholeness, Being at Peace with World Reality, the Zen of the Fillmores. So Marty's going to be sharing how the Fillmores brought that Eastern thought into unity, and how that's really a part of our movement. It's going to be a good class. And of course, that class is coming right after we do our class on mindful self-compassion. And I have to apologize to the announcements. I have changed that class so often that nobody knows what I'm doing, but I do. And so it is going to be a 5-week class. It's for a love offering, and it's going to start on June the 10th. And more about that in the e-news is coming up, but I hope you'll join us. It's going to be on this book by Kristen Neff. And if any of you get Martha Creek's newsletter, she's ironically talking about the same thing this month. And we're going to be exploring mindful self-compassion. And the workbook's excellent. We'll only be hitting on a few of the topics in it. And I've started the workbook, and I invite you to get the workbook and move your way through it and join me for that class. And then last but not least, I've decided to repeat The Quest for Wholeness by Robert Brummett. And so if you didn't take that when we offered it before, I want to invite you to take it this time, because it's just an excellent class. And we're going to turn it from a book study into a class. It'll be 5 weeks instead of 8. And that'll be in September, and it's going to be for an hour and a half. So I hope to see you there. And then after all of that, there was a minister walking down the street when he saw a sign in front of a house. The sign said, "Talking dog for sale, inquire within." Well, he became curious. Wouldn't you become curious? So he knocks on the door. The owner lets him in and points to an old dog lying on the rug. So the minister looks at the dog and says, "So, You talk? The dog looks up and says, yup. The minister stumbles back. Incredible. What's your story? He says to the dog. The dog replies, well, I discovered my gift young. I served as a therapy dog for grieving families, helped the police as a canine counselor, even comforted people in hospice. I'm retired now. Well, the minister turns to the owner. He's stunned, and he says, why on earth are you selling him? And the man shrugs, because he's a liar. He didn't do any of that. Well, sometimes we're like a dog. We're like that dog, aren't we? We say we're doing fine. We talk like everything's under control. But inside, we're not telling ourselves the whole truth. Well, today, as we talk about mindful self-compassion, we begin to listen more honestly. We begin to listen more honestly and more kindly to ourselves. We begin to listen more honestly and kindly to ourselves. And this is going to be a two-part series before we move into the class, and we're going to explore the transformative spiritual practice of self-compassion inspired by the work of Dr. Kristen Neff. She's become quite the guru on self-compassion. I invite you to Google her, to look her up, to get one of her books or the workbook, and she knows her stuff on self-compassion. She's done the work. I actually did a workshop of hers called Fierce Self-Compassion. Wow, good stuff. Good stuff about setting boundaries and how self-compassion fits into setting boundaries. Well, while many of us are taught to be kind to others, few are taught the art of being kind to ourselves, especially in times of struggle. So together, during this time on mindful self-compassion, we'll reflect on how self-kindness, how shared humanity and mindful awareness can heal the wounds of self-judgment and strengthen our connection to spirit. I guess you could say that we're going to learn to embrace our imperfections, not as flaws, but as sacred aspects of being human. So, sticking with our theme of wholeness and focusing back on Brummett's book, The Quest for Wholeness, Brummett in his book talks about the illusion of the false self. He writes that wholeness is not about fixing ourselves, but about integrating the parts of ourselves we've pushed away. It's about embracing our humanity with grace. Brummett says that wholeness is our natural state. Sue Riley told us that in her song. We're whole, we are love, we are peace, we are whole. Wholeness is our natural state. It's not something we achieve, but something we uncover. Yet, and you're going to relate to this, we live in a culture that teaches us just the opposite of that. We're taught that we're not enough until we're perfect. We're taught that we must always be improving, outperforming, and proving our worth. We're taught that if we fail, criticize ourselves. And if you feel pain, hide it. Well, the spiritual truth is that this striving, this self-criticizing, this need to self-improve pulls us away from our wholeness. And it's self-compassion that brings us back to the wholeness that we already are. There was a minister, a therapist, and a monk, and they were asked what advice they'd give to someone who was feeling overwhelmed, who was feeling unworthy, who was feeling exhausted. Well, the minister said, pray more. the monk said, meditate more. And the therapist paused for a moment and said, try talking to yourself like someone you love. Try talking to yourself like someone you love. Well, the minister and the monk were quiet for a moment. And then they both said at the same time, we may need to do that too. Pray, meditate, and talk to yourself like someone you love. So, to introduce Kristin Neff's model for self-compassion, she says there's 3 core elements, and I want to talk about them just a little bit this week to get set up for part 2 and for the class. So the first core element, guess what it is? It's self-kindness, being kind to yourself, responding to our own suffering with gentleness instead of harshness. Let me say it one more time. Responding to our own suffering with gentleness rather than harshness. This practice of self-kindness is the practice of treating yourself the way you would treat a beloved friend. When you fall short, when you're in pain, when you feel inadequate or overwhelmed, self-kindness says to you, this is hard. I see you. I'm here with you. It sounds simple, but how many of us, how many of you truly speak to yourselves that way? I have to remind myself all the time. It's not the first place we go. I have to deny those other thoughts power and affirm that I am love. I am peace. Self-kindness is not letting ourselves off the hook. It's changing how we hold ourselves accountable. Self-kindness is the tone of grace instead of guilt. It's the difference between punishing and guiding. Brumett says, wholeness is not about fixing what is broken. It's about reclaiming what you've abandoned. Core element number 2, common humanity. Common humanity. Recognizing that pain and imperfection are part of being human. We are not alone. This common humanity may just be the most liberating part of self-compassion. The reminder that you're not alone. When we suffer, we tend to isolate. We say to ourselves, no one else feels this way. Everyone else has it together. What's wrong with me? Why am I this way? Why did this happen? Why did I do that? But when we realize our common humanity, we realize we are reminded that suffering is a part of life. Imperfection is universal. You are not broken. I am not broken. We are not broken. You and me and we are human. In unity, we affirm oneness, not just with God, but with each other. Self-compassion then recognizes that our pain does not separate us from others. It connects us. And third component is mindfulness. Mindfulness. Isn't that a key to everything? Being mindful, being present. Mindfulness is holding our experience in balanced awareness, being present with what is, being present with how I am in this in any given moment, being aware, being connected with myself, being mindful. Mindfulness is being present with our experience, with our human experience, being present in this human experience, bringing our wholeness to this human experience. bringing our presence, being present in this human experience without exaggerating it and without denying it. There's the big one. Without denying it, really inviting it in, inviting that struggle in, sitting with it. It means naming it, naming what's happening, and naming it without drama and without detachment. This is what's going on. I am feeling this way. I am having this going on in this human experience. This is what the doctor told me. This is what my son told me. This is what's going on in the yard outside. This is where self-compassion begins. It begins here in the moment of suffering. It begins by saying, this is everything, and not, I shouldn't feel this way. By saying, this is here, and I see it, then we can be in self-compassion by truly sitting in the suffering and knowing it, feeling it, recognizing it, and not pushing it away, not denying it, not just being in the midst of it. In our spiritual lives, mindfulness is how we bring awareness into the now. And self-compassion brings that awareness with love. Now, before we go any farther, I want to stop for a minute and clear up a few myths. And we've alluded to a couple of them, because for many of us, when we first hear the phrase self-compassion, well, something tightens inside. We get a little, oh, self-compassion. I can't be self-compassion. I better not. That might make me look weak. But won't that make me look weak is what we say? Or isn't that just self-pity? Or if I go easy on myself, if I'm kind to myself, won't I lose my edge? Well, yeah, maybe I would lose my edge. Thank goodness. I might lose a little bit of my edge, right? And open my heart. But these, we all have them. It's our common humanity. These are normal reactions, and they come from conditioning. They come from common misunderstandings. And some of those common misunderstandings are, one, that self-compassion is not self-pity. Self-pity says, poor me. It isolates us. It exaggerates our suffering, and it keeps us stuck. That, you know that. I mean, as I read it, I'm there, I've been there. Where self-compassion says, this hurts, and I'm not alone. It connects us to the truth that pain is a part of the human condition, and opens us to healing, opens us to our wholeness. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence. Self-indulgence says, I'm just going to do whatever makes me feel better right now. I'm going to get the ice cream out and I'm just going to eat it all. And it's going to make me feel better for just until I feel sick from eating all that ice cream. But I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to self-indulge. Where self-compassion would say, what do I really need in this moment to be well, to be whole? We all know it's not that tub of ice cream that we're going to go get. It's not what we need to be well, especially. It doesn't excuse harmful behavior. It helps us heal the reasons behind the behavior. Let me say that one more time. It doesn't excuse the harmful behavior. It helps us to heal the reasons behind the behavior. And lastly, self-compassion is not weakness. I mean, it just isn't. This may be the most deeply ingrained myth. I mean, we think that. Many of us were taught that being hard on ourselves builds strength. But research shows the opposite. Self-compassion increases motivation, it increases resilience, and it increases accountability. It takes great courage to be kind to yourself when you're hurting. And that's spiritual strength. And lastly, why do we resist self-compassion? There was a man who came to a healer and said, I want to be whole, but I can't forgive myself. And the healer replied, wholeness doesn't come from punishing your pain. It comes from loving the parts of yourself that are hurting. We resist self-compassion because we've been taught that it's self-indulgent or lazy. But self-compassion is not letting ourselves off the hook. It's simply changing the tone of the conversation that we're having inside. It's simply changing the story. It's letting go of that conditioned story and bringing in the true story that we're whole, that we're loved, that we're at peace. Brahmat says spiritual growth requires shadow work. Meeting the parts of us that we fear, the parts that we reject, or the parts that we deny. Self-compassion gives us the courage to look at those shadows without judgment and with love. To look at them without just judgment and with love. So here's a quick practice for you for the week and for the 2 weeks before I come back. Enjoy, but do this practice through Mother's Day. And it's called the self-compassion break. So I invite you to practice the self-compassion break. When you're struggling, and you probably will struggle, it's part of being human, right? We're all going to struggle at some point, probably sooner than we think. When you're struggling, pause. Just pause, stop. Put your hand on your heart. Try it now. Go ahead, take a breath. Let's pause. Put your hand on your heart and say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering. Let's say it together. This is a moment of suffering. And so that makes us mindful. It brings us into awareness of the present moment. This is a moment of suffering. I'm mindful of it. I'm aware of it. Then we say, suffering is a part of life. Let's say that together. Suffering is a part of life. And now we've brought our common humanity into it. That together, all of humanity has suffering involved with it. We're not isolated. We're not apart. We're part of humanity. And lastly, we say to ourselves, may I be kind to myself in this moment. Say that with me, please. May I be kind to myself in this moment. And there we have the self-kindness. Mindfulness, common humanity, and self-kindness. Try this when you mess up, when you feel overwhelmed, when you catch your inner critic speaking up. Let your breath soften and let grace in. So, lastly, in unity, we affirm the divine within. How can it be weakness to speak to the divine within, to the divine in you with love? How can it be a weakness to speak to the divine in you with love? How can it be indulgent to treat your soul with gentleness? When you practice self-compassion, you're not becoming less spiritual. You are becoming more whole. Oh, let's be self-compassionate this week. Let's become more whole. Let's be peace. Let's be love. Let's be whole. Thank you. Have a great week. See you soon.